New week. So it's poem time from Hafiz. No room for form. On the night when you cross the street from the shop and your home to the cemetery, you'll hear me hailing you from inside the open grave, and you'll realize how we've always been together. I am the clear consciousness core of your being, the same in ecstasy as in self hating fatigue. That night when you escape your fear of snakebite and all irritations of the ants, you'll hear my familiar voice, see the candle being lit, smell the incense, the surprise meal fixed by the lover inside all your other lovers. This heart tumult is my signal to you igniting in the tomb. So don't fuss around with the shroud and the graveyard dust. Those get ripped open and washed away in the music of our final meeting. And don't look for me in human shape. I'm inside your looking. No room for form with love this strong. Beat the drum and let the poet speak. This is the day of purification for those who are already mature and initiated into what love is. No need to wait until we die. There's more to want here than money and being famous and bites of roasted meat. Now, what should we call this new sort of gazing house that has opened in our town where people sit quietly and pour out their glancing like light, like answering? All right, everything that I'm doing, as I like to say, it's all about me, but there's nothing personal in it. I hope I'm tapping into the depth of what is the human concern. And with it, when I say the word spiritual, I really translate it as the part of ourselves that asks the great questions. So first of all, I attune to feeling good, which is the only way I can allow the well-being that is natural to me. And I've learned to train my gaze to look at that which feels good most often, and that which doesn't feel good, I look at least often, which doesn't mean I don't look at it, don't acknowledge it, don't even deal with it. I just continue not to put my attention on it again and again and again. If I'm going to awaken any kind of joy in my life amidst this world which has so much sorrow, the first way is learning how to be grateful. And I know I say this every single week, but there's always new people tuning in who may not realize the importance and depth of this. The mind naturally will rest on the goodness that's in your life and the blessings that you have if you focus on what you're grateful for. But you can't force gratitude. You just feel frustrated. Then you want to close it down. It has to happen naturally. And the best way to do that is put yourself in different environments where the likelihood of that happening is greater. The problem is that we've been taught that we resist any form of conflict. We resist any form of pain. And you cannot get rid of the greed that is so characteristic of our culture through compulsion. Krishnamurti says, whoever resists is greedy for gaining release. The motive to get rid of is still a process of greed. So up to now, a lot of times if you're winning the game, you see your greed seems to pay off. It's only when it's painful that you begin to want to renounce. So it takes a quiet depth in your mind to understand these natural compulsions that we have. And you can't compel anybody to do this. Then there's no adaptability, no pliability, no sensitivity. So resistance is not the way. And it takes a lot of intelligence to see that. So when you discipline yourself, I hope that the way you do it is not through a pattern of conformity through fear, afraid of not getting what you want, so that's what you discipline yourself for. It just makes you clever. You imitate other people, you copy other people to be happy. It doesn't work, because what it requires is inward freedom. And now, I don't know about you, but I'll tell you, I've found some freedom by recognizing that all the old teachings up to now are what have been termed plausibility structures. Right? They're not provable in this world, but they posit an ideal that everybody buys into. For me, religious teachings is poetic and symbolic, not historical literal. So the psychological aspect of it really impacts me because let's face it, as a modern person, most people don't believe in magic anymore. We've disenchanted the world. The animistic world that people used to live in and project certain kind of life force on plants and animals and just the elements itself, we don't believe that anymore. We've disenchanted the world. So what we have to do to move ahead is to re-enchant the world, reinvigorate the world. How do we do that? Well, we bring what we love to do to the fore, and we spend a life not doing that which is soul deadening. So find what you love to do, immerse yourself in that. You'll see if joy, gratitude, health, and all the other good things in life are added to you while you have your eyes wide open and joyfully participate in the sorrows of the world.